Radioactive, tonight at 10.
This won't make it into the video, but like he gets the award for.
Yes, it will.
No, it won't. It won't. I'll see to it. But like, this is really dirty. You guys were arguing. You were joking. You were ribbing on each other, and of course, it's like.
Did you grow up in Canada? Were you alive in the 90s? Did you love YTV? F*** yeah, you did!
Today we take a look at the film Meeting in Madrid, starring Kyle MacLachlan. This film sucks.
The first season, the clothes, especially the first couple of episodes, the clothes were, oh my God, why?
The story is boring, the dialogue is lame, the directing is amateurish. Okay, so my recommendation is go see it. Kyle MacLachlan is a babe. He takes off his shirt 5 times. Girls, this guy's got great pecs, really nice hair, beautiful blue eyes.
The second season, I remember, because I remember the fitting for that and thinking, okay, I had a blue turtleneck. I remember that because I love turtlenecks. I think they're so flattering and they're just mature and I don't know, something Scooby-Doo-ish about it.
According to Mr. Noseworthy, Vice Principal of Discipline, the cafeteria spaghetti will no longer be sprinkled with grated cheese, but rather with ants. There's ants everywhere.
But I think the head wardrobe guy, if I remember correctly, is a wonderful man who happens to have a taste for tight clothes because Andrew, like that first episode. Oh my God.
Yes.
He was like vacuum sealed in that thing.
And that was like all his press shots were in that as well because it was the first episode's clothes. And it's like,
it was like painted on, like, okay.
Yeah. I just watched it with the kiddos.
I remember once I was walking behind him and his elbow hits me here. He's like, book. And I just, he just hit me a little bit. He was like a wall, the guy.
Yeah, he was a big dude. Like he was,
Do you want to be as buff as Blair from Radioactive? It's easy. Just do his 10-second workout starting now.
Actually, when I first met you, I was like, oh, I hope I don't get a crush on this guy. Because you're just like, you were just so cute and sweet and funny and gorge. And I was
then
like,
I opened my mouth.
There you go.
What are you doing for the dance tonight?
I am not going to the stupid dance tonight.
Why not?
Because I can't get a date on such short notice. All the guys are already taken. Everyone except for you, George.
Back off, sister, he's mine.
I remember one of the most special things ever was I go into the audition and I do this thing. It's this big thing. I'm like acting out. It's like this whole very theatrical thing. And Roseanne Cohen, one of the producers, she stood up and she was like, well, there's Roger right there.
That's awesome.
And I was like, what?
Wow.
And then Francois, I think it was, the director.
He's great. I miss Francois.
Super nice guy and all that. But at the moment, like he just said, right, like, hold on. Like he was telling like her to like, so I went to, oh, what's happening? Like, I hope she's making decisions on him. But like, honestly, could you imagine being in an audition and that happening?
Oh,
yeah, that's
amazing.
That's pretty cool.
I did an audition today. That didn't happen.
Brakes! Where's the brakes?
I remember actually where was it? Maybe in the lunchroom. But I had asked Roseanne, so did you choose, who you wanted it to be? Because I wanted you and I wanted Andrew. And I remember she said, yes, we decided. And I thought, oh, is she going to tell me? And she goes, it's Andrew Walker and Ryan Wilner. And I thought, yes!
They made me sweat it out. So basically, I effectively in the audition, it was like she was giving me the role. They didn't want to officially send over an offer until they found Blair. And so for 6 weeks, I was sweating it for 6 weeks. But then when Andrew went in and did the audition, our chemistry was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we really hit it off, fast friends.
I'm gonna have to fight the girls off with a stick. Well, Roger,
Some instruments are sexy. Some instruments aren't sexy. For example, guitar, sexy. Bassoon, not sexy. Trumpet, sexy. Harpsichord, not sexy. Metronome, saxophone, sexy. Kazoo, not sexy. Tuba, not sexy. Very not sexy.
But yeah, that's so sweet to hear.
Yeah, I was very, very happy about that.
Well, Tyler Brown wants me to tell George that he's the man.
Oh, thanks, Tyler.
So, bye, Benson's Jawbreakers. Or I'll break your jaw!
Great. Yeah. Now hold the jar up so everybody can see it.
Why? Isn't this radio?
Yeah. That's what they'd like us to believe.
So at some point, the party has to end. What was it like knowing that you were filming your last few episodes?
I mean, as much as it was a lot of fun too, I started feeling it was a bit like repetitious, and I was like, set up and bat the ball, set up and bat the ball. So I was welcoming the break, and Radioactive was my first gig, so kind of like Vic and Michael, I think I wanted to move on to other things.
Leonard, I'm back. Stop doing what you're doing.
What am I doing?
Oh, look, you're looking for work. You don't need to.
But it was bittersweet for sure, because I did have a lot of fun, and it was uncertainty, but I was looking forward to new stuff as well.
It was bittersweet. That's a good word, I think. I was optimistic that maybe there'd be more stuff coming up, and I got a few things here and there.
Vanessa, I'm trying to tell you, I'm in love with you.
Taxi!
Don't forget last night.
This is the best wedding I've ever been to. And it hasn't even started yet.
I ended up getting a regular job, and so looking back, now I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so much more that we could have done. We could have just maybe branched out and maybe had either whether it's a spin-off or whether it's just expanding our sets and maybe doing some more handheld camera stuff or just switching it up a bit. I think the show still had places to go, but it just didn't seem feasible at that time, I guess.
It was just like, now I have to kind of make decisions. My father died in August 2000, and then the TV series wrapped up. We wrapped up filming in January 2001, and so it made me have to make decisions quicker than I would have if I was doing another season of Radioactive. Then, well, that's what my life was going to be. But he left me half a business. For me, it was actually the start of an exciting time because I drove to LA with Andrew Blair. And he ended up landing a gig pretty fast, and he stayed out there ever since. Yeah, he was on no, he landed a pilot called Maybe It's Me for the WB, and the pilot got picked up. I mean, we were dancing. It was like, it's crazy.
Dude, don't you get it?
Rick, the bad boy. What's he into? Listen, we don't ask, he don't tell. And my parents, totally clueless.
Second offense. That's 3 to 5.
He's doing a lot of Hallmark movies and other stuff, and
He
still
does a lot
good
of
friend.
Christmas movies.
Yeah.
I'm so jealous.
Yes.
I love Christmas, and I'm like, he
Yeah.
gets to be in Christmas so much.
He's like Dean
Yeah.
Kane, like you were talking about.
He did one with Winnie Cooper. He's doing one
Winnie
with
Cooper.
the actress who played Winnie Cooper
From
Wonder Years.
Oh my God, I
yeah,
had
he's
such a
like
crush on her.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
She's
You know what's funny is that people say the
whiz.
same thing about you guys now. Like, oh my God, I had such a crush on them.
I had such a crush on John Carlo.
Oh, I know.
Thank you so much for coming out, you Jewish people, to the Just for Laughs Jewish show. This is really great. You are my people. I'm very happy to be here. Actually, I met somebody recently who wasn't sure if he was Jewish. I said, how is that possible? He said, well, we're not sure if my mother's Jewish. I said, there's a very simple test for that. Let's figure this out right now. If your mother aggravates you so much that you want to kill her, not Jewish. But if she aggravates you so much that you just want to kill yourself, Jewish.
All right, what I want to know before we go today is you guys knew Melissa in another life. It seems like another world now. But
she would have never dated you.
I know.
The Melissa I know.
There you go. Tell me some fun facts and or dirt about Melissa circa 1999.
That's totally you're just saying she's just trying to
was like, let me tell you. And I'm just thinking, that's so unfair. I just remember all the men that she would sleep with. She would just every night she would talk about a different guy.
Separate.
And then she was like,
You know how to pick them.
I'm sure if you keep looking, you're gonna. No, you don't understand. There's no one at all, anywhere.
Well, what about...
I tried him. Taken.
Oh, there's...
Spoken for last week.
Oh, you know, you can ask...
Already has a date, and so do all his brothers. And their cousins. And their second cousins. From the freshmen all the way to the seniors who graduated last year. Everyone is unavailable, occupied, paired up, going out, going steady, getting married, or otherwise not going to the dance with me.
I actually had kept all my scripts from Radioactive. Really? Every script I was in, and Dinah was like, we're not dragging this to the house, like when we moved recently. And I was like, I'm just gonna do it. I did it this long. And for some reason, I have all the scripts, my highlights, and I haven't looked back on them. And I took something else from set. I took like that lizard. It was just like one of the stupid things from the set. Did you take anything from the set?
I took the couch home.
Did you?
Yeah.
I'm like, nobody will notice this. You're like walking around with this couch.
I took a...
Give me that fucking couch, huh?
I slept with so many men on that before Ryan. So many.
I want that couch.
Ryan, you sleep on that couch all the time now.
People took naps on that during lunch, didn't they?
Yeah, I did. I used to sleep.
Well, that's why it smelled so good.
Because it smells like shit. Thanks, Melissa.
I honestly thought for a second, I was like, maybe I'll bring one of the scripts. And I'm like, I'm not going fucking digging something up for tonight.
It's a perfect table for a cold reading.
Yeah, you might be able to sell some of that. Well, if you ever
time.
wanted to sell some of that, I'm sure some fan out there would.
If we could raise a couple of dollars for anything, I would do it.
We need it.
No, not for me.
He meant for charity.
If we could raise a couple of dollars yes.
He meant for charity.
Jesus Christ, buddy, your company's not doing that good. I can help you.
I love how
if I could raise a couple of for like pencils or erasers, Post-it notes I hear are like really awesome, like really helpful.
I need a new sofa.
Hi.
Oh God.
I'm famous.
Hi. So we have who we're calling intern here.
Intern.
And she had a question I was about to read, but I'm like, everyone knows I can't read. So she's going to ask you it herself.
But so what movie or TV show would you be in that was made before you were born, and who would you play and like why?
I love that question.
I got one. Oh. The Fonz. Come on. No, but the Fonz, yeah, for sure. No, the Happy Days actually looked kind of cool. I think they had the same chemistry we did. They looked like they were always having a good time, those guys. I don't know if anybody's heard Dirt on them. Anybody? Dirt? No. Happy Days? No?
Nope.
Do you guys even know what the fuck I'm talking about?
Okay. I don't know. People used to think I looked like Ross from Friends, so I felt like I had that with Radioactive, an ensemble cast, people that just were having a lot of fun.
I have a show that I can think of instantly, though, and you know this, The Addams Family.
Ooh.
I love Morticia, and I would have loved to be on that show.
You'd be great as a Morticia.
Oh my God.
Oh, fuck, you'd be good.
Anything on The Addams Family, I would have done. I just love that show. I love that spookiness and yeah.
Hey, Sean, you want to do one?
I'm so starstruck right now that I can't even think of anything to ask.
See, this is why I didn't tell him he was coming to this.
I literally have your shows on VHS at home.
Okay, so...
I literally told him on the way here, so he wouldn't have a panic attack.
That's hysterical.
All right, Sean, here.
So, if the show were to be, like, continued nowadays, like your characters age throughout time and they're just picking up, like, now, where do you think each one of your characters would be in life? And what
in the show?
Yes, in the show.
That's a good question.
Actually,
much better than my question.
I think I know exactly where George would be. George would be the normal man. Like he fantasized. He had the comic about the normal man. He'd have like a 9-to-5 job, a tie. He'd be like the most boringest guy ever. Kind of like my life. No, but I think that's what he'd be. I think so. I think
it's like a great, interesting answer.
Because like all these older, like these people that were like wild and stuff, and like they're popular, or not that he was popular, but like just were eccentric in high school.
You're really talking about yourself at this point.
No, but then you meet them later on, and they have like their most normal, boring life. Not boring, I should say normal. I think that's what
I
he
would
would
have pictured George being owning a series of garages, because you were very tech savvy for the equipment, and you'd be doing you'd hammer this and hammer that. And one time in one episode, you opened a drawer and you pulled out a piece of cake with an already lit candle, and you were like, they all thought I was crazy for keeping this in here. Like, your ideas, but all your shit always worked. So I just pictured you
wow, that's interesting.
being a boss, but like an accidental kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, an accident. But that's what the character was. Like, we were
Yeah.
talking about if it's dumb or not. I think that, maybe George would have come up with, and I think this is kind of what you're saying, but like, George just stumbling upon some sort of invention.
That's interesting.
Yeah, very, like a millionaire,
That's
but you're just
really
still wearing the
interesting.
same clothes, and that's what I picture. Anyways, that's my.
And what about you guys? Now I'm curious.
I mean, like, yeah, it's a really good question. What would
Door-to-door
Roger be
salesman
doing?
for the nozzle thing there.
What would he still be scheming 20 years later, trying to
probably be
make money quick or
in
something
a corporate
like
exec?
Yeah, maybe a corporate. I mean, I know that's kind of what happened in real life.
Roger, please! Stop that blasted thing!
There you are, Mr. Noseworthy. I believe we've rid your office of all evil.
Well, I must say it did do an impressive job. Sucked up all the dust on my desk, as well as my weekly report.
I mean, I guess if things went well, then he came up with something that was, that really worked well and was successful. Or if things weren't, he was just constantly, but maybe not 20 years. By 20 years later, he would have burnt out on, on having like horrible ideas that just weren't working out. So I wouldn't know where that would lead you in 20 years because I'm so successful.
Morgan?
I think Morgan would be some sort of like a director, not necessarily an artistic one, but more of like a cut to this and do that, like bossy.
That was your gig. That was
just kind of
in the show. It
delegating.
Was, you were like the natural leader.
It was definitely interesting to see a show full of teenagers not using cell phones constantly. And do you think if Radioactive was rebooted right now, if a different cast, like, do you think it could work? I mean, do people listen to the radio anymore?
It wouldn't be radio. It wouldn't be our Radioactive for sure. There's
it would
no
be
way.
podcast active or something.
Yeah, but not just that. Like, just our chemistry,
Satellite
everything
radio.
that we talked about tonight. Like, we were really lucky. I think that we found the cast that we have. The show kind of morphed into something more. I don't know how to say it. It was kind of like magic. So I don't think it would work, no, because they wouldn't have us.
Thanks, guys. I think it's getting a little...
Unless we're the teachers.
Shit, that'd be cool. See, and that George could be the normal teacher.
Yeah.
I'm down for that.
Dude, are shows that like over the top and wacky and like that? Are there still shows like that on TV?
It's just about like what kids want to see when they're that age, and when you're that age, you want to see a cartoon come to life, and it's almost like a transitional show where you just saw cartoons, now you want to see people act like cartoons, and later on you want to see them act all real. But what I liked about your show is that it knew exactly what it was. It was really embraced, as you can see with Sean over there. It was very embraced by the audience that it had. So, congratulations on your mark in Canadian television greatness.
Wow, thank you.
Yeah. All right,
you.
everybody. Thanks so much for watching the show. As always, this episode, as you can see, looks much prettier than usual. And it's not just their faces, it's the production quality. And the What's on the Shelf people have come over here. They are SCR Productions. Thank you so very, very much for making the show as purty as they are.
Thanks for having us in your store. This
Thanks for having us in
Yeah,
your
this is so
store.
cool. Guys, come to Shea Geeks.
Yeah.
Come to Shea Geeks.
Yes, the shameless plug.
Yes, absolutely. Not shameless. Board games, man. It's where it's at. I always play board games at home.
Yeah.
I come see G.
Yeah.
Hooks me up with a game.
How do you like Patchwork?
It's great.
Isn't
Patrick
it?
is great. Yeah, it's a lot of
it's
fun.
great.
A lot of good stuff.
We're throwing it out there, Internet. If you want to see Radioactive live at Comic-Cons or any of those kind of conventions, make some noise, make it happen, because you can see these beautiful people in front of you, and you can ask them your silly questions like I do. Thanks so much for being on the show, guys. This has been awesome.
Thanks for having us.
I learned.
Thank you.
It's so nice to meet you.
It's great to see you too.
She touched my hand.
Check out more episodes of You, Me, and YTV on Facebook and YouTube. Sweet one-of-a-kind interviews with PJ Fresh Phil, PJ Paul, Tarzan Dan, the cast of Student Bodies, the voice acting cast of Sailor Moon, and much, much more. Exclusively on You, Me, and YTV.